Hi, Cambridge.
Sorry.
Those who do not know their history cannot learn from their history. And those who cannot learn from their history are doomed, Captain Mannering, to repeat their history. Now, I don't know if you remember, but 3 years ago, quite a lot of history happened to us. There was a virus, and a pandemic, and a lockdown. Now, in retrospect, it wasn't the virus that was scary, right? Lions and tigers and bears, oh my, we're all ape-descended life forms. We could take the virus. What's scary is the thing from 20th century history, which is that us is the big threat to ourselves. We're the ones who can hurt each other and hurt our planet. And what happened during lockdown was that the powers that be suddenly had an idea that our elemental freedom, our freedom to go where we want, do what we want, see who we want, is simply another commodity that can be bought and sold and taxed. Tax isn't going to solve our most basic problems of overconsumption and insensitivity. It is simply wrong to have a poll tax, a flat rate tax that hits the low and no paid hardest and puts a paywall between the sickest in our community and their healthcare. So why have it? Why do it if the motivation is pure and good? Because mopeds are causing congestion? Because electrical vehicles are damaging the air quality? Of course it's not. It's because in the same way that up in my neck of the woods in Fenedge, right? If you don't know me, my name is Dan. I'm the councillor for Over and Willingham, right? Very rural part of the world. Yeah? There we go. Once upon a time, 300 years ago, some very clever people came along and they drained the fens. Transformed the environment, did immense environmental economical harm. And what they did was they then sold the land back, or they sold the work back, so that you've taken the land from under people and then you've put them into economically disadvantageous relationships, right? You've enthralled them. Now, that happened in the 17th century. In the 18th and 19th century, they went global with this idea, taking away people's land and forcing them into uneconomically just situations. This proposal will not make us greener. It will make us meaner. And as has already been said, this is a city with a serious gap between the haves and the have-nots. And the moment that I realised there was this real problem was when I heard the chair of the GCP, or I read her in the newspaper, and she said, we're all in the same boat. We're not all in the same boat. That's what we learned during COVID. We're not all in the same boat. We're in the same storm. Some of us are in yachts, and some of us are barely clinging to the wreckage of shattered hopes and dreams. Policy should be made for everybody. The things that we do in our society should be done for the sake of everybody. And here's my question to you. We've seen it over the past few months. The dodgy data and the completely ludicrous and false consultation. The daft arguments. Neil, why don't you have all your deliveries? You've never answered. Why don't you have all your deliveries on a Saturday? Oh, really? Who knows? You would have thought someone at the GCP would have, wanted to check that. So here's the problem. They don't have the arguments. They don't have the data. In the free market of ideas, of which Cambridge has something of a history, I think we'll all agree, the free exchange of knowledge and ideas, they can't win. So they can't win a referendum, so they won't have one. Because what they have is the power. They have the power to force this on us. Except for one thing. That's not their power. It's given to them in trust. The democratic representatives, their job, our job, my job as a councillor is to represent the people in the system, not to represent the system to the people. Simples. Simples. So if they've got power and they are not prepared to use it for the benefit of everybody, here's the idea. How about we take the power off them? What do you reckon? And whether or not they give us the referendum, and Lord knows they should, but if they choose to push this ahead, guess what? There's this thing in this country called elections. And low turnout ain't going to be part of any future elections, yes? We will not pay the fee. Keep driving free. Down with the plans of the GCP. Thank you, Cambridge. God bless you for coming out. Thank you.
Wow. Well, you've heard it here. If you look around you, you'll see quite a few flags from the GMB. The GMB did say that they were really against it. So what we asked was, we asked Kevin Roberts if he would come and tell us why.